Amelia from Wonder Birthing, and this is part 2 of birth planning. So in the first video, we looked all at dreaming and visualizing and then writing down your ideal birth and your ideal birth plan. In this part 2 of these videos, this is where we're going to look at your plan B and then maybe your plan C. Okay, it's really important to have a couple of different birth plans so that you feel prepared if for whatever reason your main birth starts to deviate from your main birth plan. Okay, so with birth plan B, that potentially could be maybe if you had, for whatever reason, you're medically induced, you needed to be started on the induction process, then how are you going to cope with that? How are you going to manage? What are you going to have around to support you? How do you want things explained? What's your birth partner going to be doing, reassuring you? Potentially for people that their ideal birth might be a home birth, then they do still need to have a hospital birth plan, okay? And this also goes for people that are already birthing in a hospital. Their ideal birth might be at a birth centre. But then for whatever reason, something happens and then they need to shift across to the labour ward. So you need to be able to be adaptable, and you need to know and understand the different places where you give birth and how that environment can impact and affect your birth, so that you're able to put your own boundaries in place so that you feel safe and comfortable and always in control. Okay, so that's really key. Things when you're thinking about birth planning, think about who's in the room with you, what's important to you. I often really talk to people after we've done their ideal birth, then we move into, okay, what if things aren't working out the way you thought? What is your bottom line? You know, what is your bottom line around, keeping the placenta or having a lotus birth? That's when the baby's born and still stays attached to the placenta. What are your thoughts on delayed cord clamping? How is that going to affect if you have a cesarean or something like that? What is your bottom line? If you need to have a cesarean, then if delayed cord clamping is still really important to you, then that is what you're going to put on your birth plan. It's always what is your non-negotiable, your bottom line. Okay, so it's really about thinking and exploring all the options that are available to you in birth. There is so many different ways to give birth. It's brilliant. And some things aren't important to you. Maybe you don't care about that. It's right down the bottom of your list, so it's not a non-negotiable. It's not even going to get on your birth plan. But if you're passionate about something and you really, really, that's what you want. Perhaps it might be no formula for your baby or something like that. If you've been expressing colostrum and you've got some, and if for whatever reason you can't do skin to skin and breastfeeding immediately after birth, then you write on your birth plan that I've got colostrum, my partner knows where it is, that's what my baby's first feed is going to be. Okay? So there's so many different things. I really suggest that you research. Read as much as you can. Get educated. If you need any help with birth plans, birth planning, your A, B or C, please get in contact with me. I am more than happy to chat anytime about birth, and particularly birth plans, to really make sure that you understand how this really important document can support you. And it is such an important document. That's why you need 3. That's why you need to be flexible. That's why you really need to have an A, B and a C. So look into birth planning, find out what you need. Some people use visuals, like those little circles you might have seen with little images around, you can download them, I think from the Positive Birth website. Just be mindful, some hospitals and midwives are not so keen on them, but they can be a really useful tool in just seeing all the available options for you. Like, for example, another one which you may or may not want to include is episiotomy. So maybe you don't want an episiotomy, that you want to tear instead. Okay, so there's lots of different types of things that if for some reason they offered you an episiotomy, then you would say, no, actually on my birth plan, and that's not what I want. I also find in relation to birth partners, by exploring birth planning together and what your options are, your birth partner becomes your walking and talking birth plan. Now, this is super important, particularly when you're in labour, because you don't want to be interrupted all the time. You don't want to be like, oh, excuse me, can we do, you know, all that sort of stuff. You want to just stay in your little birthing, beautiful bubble and birth your baby. You don't want that beautiful cocktail of chemicals that are running through your body with oxytocin and endorphins. You don't want that interrupted all the time. So the more your birth partner understands and is confident in knowing why you've put that down on your birth plan, then that is it's a fantastic way that your birth partner can advocate for you on the day, and also that they feel empowered and educated enough as well to know that we made these choices together, this is what you want, and they feel really, really comfortable in expressing your needs. Okay, well, I think that's enough for now. If you've got any questions, please contact me, amelia@wonderbirthing.com.au. If you want any further information about birth planning or any other tips about birthing, I've got a free download which has a section on birth planning as well, which is 7 wonderful tips for a wonderful birth. And it's at my website, wonderbirthing.com.au. Follow me on any of my socials, and I look forward to connecting with you all soon. Okay, bye.